Welcome to the exciting and new podcast. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
I'm Dana.
I'm Paul.
What are we talking about today?
Paulie, tell us.
The Muppets Take Manhattan.
Where are they taking it?
Where they want to.
We're taking it to the wedding chapel is what they're taking it to.
What chapel? Let's see. Muppets Take Manhattan. Okay, I don't have it when it came out, though. That's one thing. I'm sorry I don't have my notes in front of me today, kids.
He spent all his weekend doing
I
nonsense.
was hanging out at Chili Theater, if you know what I'm saying. So let me see. Muppets Take Manhattan. I can tell you it's rated G.
I think it was July of '84.
There was a lot of smoking in this movie. I was very surprised that it was a G rating with Dabney Coleman just like taking drag after drag on a cigarette. I was like, nice, I like that. Because now kids' movies, R-rated movies, they warn you of smoking.
Yeah.
They don't
anything.
warn you of other things, but it's like smoking.
January 1st, 1984. Muppets Take Manhattan.
January
Oh, wow.
1st?
Yeah.
Oh, this is barely a
It's a New Year movie, yeah.
Barely.
That's interesting. Rated PG, I said, right? And it's directed by, let's find that out. I wonder who directed this one. Frank Oz.
Frank Oz.
Yeah. Okay, we're starring, I guess Kermit and his friends go to New York City to get their musical on Broadway, only to find it's a more difficult task than they anticipated. That is our IMDb description. I apologize again for the way this one started. It's a little
It's
off.
fine.
Okay, so Frank Oz, do you have any idea what he's known for? Or?
Well, besides doing all the voices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His top four is voices, or is it anything non-Muppet related?
Yeah, actually,
Oh,
the
he did a
Muppet
big
Show is in
Muppet.
there, and Sesame Street's in there. 2 movies are in there.
I got them both.
Not related to Sesame Street or the Muppets.
I got them both.
Oh.
I got one.
Do it.
Dark Crystal.
He directed that also.
No, but it was a good guess.
Yeah,
Damn.
good.
I have no clue.
He's the voice of Yoda, so I'm going to say Empire
Look
Strikes
at
Back.
that.
Empire Strikes
Dang.
Back.
Cheating.
Yes. And this other movie?
I'm going to say he was in Blues Brothers. He directed the score with Marlon
It's not
Brando.
Blues Brothers.
The score with Marlon Brando and Robert De Niro.
That's not it. You should have stayed with Yoda, because it was Star Wars Episode 6.
Jedi.
Oh.
Okay.
Return of the Jedi.
All right.
Well, I found out here that in Muppets Take Manhattan specifically, he did Piggy, Fozzie, and
I'll give you that.
Animal.
I got that. I'll get you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get you that. Because they actually do more than
Keep
that.
your toes over there, and I won't step on them, Jason.
Because he does more than that, actually.
Daniel was asking me, he's like, how do they do the voices back and forth? I'm like, well, it's not one guy doing it. It's 3 or 4 guys. He's like, oh. I'm like, yeah. And it's also a movie. They can cut and
Yeah.
make you believe that it's a bunch of different voices, but whatever. Was this Jim Henson's last Muppet thing? I always wonder when he died. I forget.
When did he die? Yeah.
I remember
here.
I remember when it happened. I just don't remember what year it was.
He died in 1990.
Oh, so this is
May
6 years
16th,
before that.
1990.
So he must have done other Muppet stuff after this.
Yeah. Because the show was on from 1976 to 81.
76.
Dark
wow,
Crystal
man.
was 82. We just missed doing that one that year.
We didn't. Oh, we did 82. We didn't do Dark Crystal.
Because we were going to do it at the end of the
when
year.
Brian decided we
took a
weren't doing anything.
sabbatical,
Fucking Brian. Clay's gone.
That was when he took the.
Clay's dead.
That was when he took the vacation.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's like, "Oh, by the way, we won't be doing anything for the next 3 weeks." Be like, "What?
What are you
Tell us
talking
now?"
about?
As we're sitting here.
Like, what do you mean?
So, Jim Henson. Did he write this? This was not a Jim Henson joint, I don't think. This was more a Frank Oz thing. I felt it centered around.
This was written by, I could pull that up for you, Andy. Let's see here. Tom Patchett is one of them.
I don't know him.
Jay Tarsis and Frank Oz.
Oh, Frank Oz, okay.
Yeah.
Because Frank Oz directed it, so I figured Frank Oz was more of a writing. Jim Henson was just here along for the ride with the voices of the characters.
Just a man and his puppets.
Man and his puppets.
Let's see here. I can't find a list that gave me all their.
What
Oh, wait, here we go. Okay, yeah. I got Jim Henson as Kermit the Frog, Rolf the Dog, Dr. Teeth, the Swedish Chef, Waldorf, the Muppet Newsman, Baby Kermit, Baby Ralph, and Ernie.
Ernie.
Frank Oz was Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, Animal, Sam Eagle, Baby Piggy, Baby Fozzie, Bert, and Cookie Monster.
Man, I don't remember Sam the Eagle being in this, but all the rest of them. But that's fine. Maybe we got cut.
He might have been.
He
It
was
was just
at
like
the wedding.
a clip.
I think he
yeah,
was at the wedding.
He was. Yeah.
Okay.
Up next, we had Dave Goles as Gonzo the Great, Chester the Rat, Bill the Frog, Zoot, a Penguin, Jim the Dog, Baby Gonzo, Beauregard, and Dr. Bunsen Honeydew.
Okay.
Damn, I didn't see Bunsen.
He was in the wedding too.
Well, was he also
Yeah, pretty
there?
much
Okay.
everybody.
Yeah, I know.
Made an
That
appearance at
one
the
wedding scene, they showed everybody,
Yeah.
including
Yeah.
the Sesame Street characters.
It might have
but-
been, again, like there's Panda Cross
Yep.
and Steve Whitmire as Rizzo the Rat, Gil the Frog, and Hap. Richard Hunt, no relation, as Scooter, Janice, Statler, Baby Scooter, and Beaker.
It's so funny you should say, was it Gil the Frog or whatever, whoever the frog was?
Yeah,
I didn't
Gil the
realize
Frog.
all those people that Kermit was hanging out with were frogs. I just thought there were other
Yeah.
Muppet things.
One of them has ears.
Well,
one of them
they're all
has
sitting
ears.
at the table across from the Muppets, and someone looks over the table and says, "It's just a bunch of frogs over there." I'm like, "Oh shit, are they supposed to be frogs?" I didn't.
Had you ever seen this before?
Never, ever saw.
You
Never
never
saw
saw
this
this movie?
before. Never
Oh.
saw this movie before.
I watched this on repeat as
Nah,
a child, as a
I've
kid.
never seen this
100%.
before.
And I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
I haven't seen it since
and
I was a kid either.
remembered lines that were coming out. I was like, she's going to say this, and he's going to say that, and then this is going to happen. And I even knew, like, how Animal was going to pop up out of the thing and go, Kermit. I was like, I remembered so much, and it's been 30,
So based on
over
that, maybe
30
I should
years.
couch everything by saying I never saw this movie before. I was 14 when this came out in the movie
Yeah.
theater. I was way too cool to go see a
Yeah,
Muppet movie
yeah.
in 1984. So the first time I saw this was at 53. That
Wow.
might influence my score at the
Yeah.
end. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It might happen.
But you could be a Muppet fan,
I
too. That's
love
the
the
thing.
Muppets.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love the Muppets.
Yes.
I grew up on them. Sesame Street and the Muppet
Uh-huh.
Show and all that stuff. I grew up on that.
Jerry Nelson as Floyd, Camilla the Chicken, Lou Zealand, Crazy Harry, Pops, and Bear. Catherine Mullen as Jill the Frog. Karen Prell as Yolanda the Rat and Frank the Dog. Brian Muell as Tatooey the Rat.
I'm disappointed that we're not doing all these people's top four.
Because you know what it would have been. That's why. Bruce Edward Hall as Masterson the Rat and Beth Bear. We'll get into the
guest
no, the
cameos.
cameos.
Obviously,
Yeah.
all their
The
voice
cameos
actors.
will be more fun though.
Oh, yeah, for
And
sure.
some of these cameos were, geez, they
Yeah.
walking by the set and they just said dragged him in
Yeah.
for a minute.
Like, you sit here and order a glass of water. It's like,
But they're
okay.
real quick too, because like we'll start Frances Bergen as Mr. Winesop's receptionist.
Oh,
What is
that's-
she from? It.
That's Gates McFadden. She is Beverly Crusher from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Oh, I never saw
Oh,
that. Okay.
God, yeah, I was so
Her
excited
top
to see
four
her.
is American Gigolo,
Oh wow, I didn't
Shirley Temple's storybook, Yancey Derringer, and 1953 Titanic.
Wait a minute. Maybe I'm thinking of a different person here because this woman's not 1953 anything unless she was born in 1953.
Frances Bergen.
That's not her. Yeah, I'm thinking of someone different. Sorry. Keep going. I spoiled the person that I thought you said secretary, and I just assumed I knew who you were talking about.
No, we were talking about Mr. Winesop's receptionist.
Winesop. Oh. That's John Landis. Winesop is John Landis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the who was the first?
Dabney Coleman?
Dabney Coleman's secretary. Yeah. Sorry.
Art Carney as Bernard Crawford, a renowned theatrical producer and Ronnie's father. You want to try Art Carney's top? Is that somebody?
I'll let everybody else.
Is
try
that somebody you want to
first.
try? Or?
I could do his son's top
Art Carney's son?
in this. in this.
Okay.
No, I thought you meant his real
No,
life son.
I
the
didn't know
guy
he has
who
a
played his
kid.
son in this, I know
Well,
two
Art
things.
Carney is Norton on The Honeymooners for sure.
Yeah, and that
I
didn't
never-
make it in there. Though.
That did.
It didn't make it in there.
Art Carney on The Honeymooners didn't make it into his top four.
I don't think I've ever seen him in anything.
Harry and
insane.
Tonto made it
You
in
guys
there.
didn't discover the internet.
Firestarter made it in there.
He's in farce. How about before you
Going
go,
in style, and then there's one more that you should get.
How about Last
That's
Action
in
Hero?
there.
Yes, he's Arnold's
Frank.
uncle or something like
It's
that.
Frank
yeah.
in that one, yeah.
the honeymooners doesn't get to our Corey's top 4. This algorithm is insane.
James Coco as Mr. Skeffington.
Okay,
Who was that again in this?
he was the guy that came in with the dog, and he was like talking. Baby talked to him,
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that guy.
and he said, and actually,
Snuggles,
Rolf
I
said,
love
In the
that
kennel.
scene.
Yeah.
Rolf said something like, in your best Chinese or something. He's like, that's perfect Chinese.
Oh,
or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus, I'm like, what?
So 2 of the tags in the kennel, there's only 2 names on the tags. One is Frank, one is Jim. Frank
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Good.
Good job,
Yeah,
Paul. I like
Yeah.
that.
I got a good one for you here. When you finish your cameos, if you don't hit,
I actually wrote down what.
Did you want
Rolf
to try
said.
James Coco? Did you say you know him from
I
anything?
know of him, but he said.
I thought you might know Man of La Mancha. That's the only one. Or Murdered
Oh,
by Death.
he's Pancho Villa in Man of La Mancha for sure.
He's
While
actually
they're
Sancho.
taking real quick.
He's actually Sancho
I
Panza.
grew up on this as
So-
well.
Mm-hmm.
He says
And a
you
shout
speak
out
Chinese
to
like a
Allison.
native.
When we got married,
Look at
I
native.
sent her the video of the wedding scene. Somebody's
Oh,
getting
yeah,
married the day of our wedding. So
Yeah.
she was out getting ready with her girls. I was, in the hotel getting tanked with my guys, and I sent her that. But yeah,
Aw.
I grew up the Muppets
Isn't that sweet?
all the way across.
I sent my wife a message on my wedding day too. It was
Where's my sandwich?
a smoke signal. Like
We need
before
sandwiches.
phones were invented.
Send food.
Playing Murray Plotsky was Dabney Coleman, a con artist posing as a theatrical producer.
And he never appears again. So what the hell is the point of that scene? Just as
That's
to get lots of cameos, yeah.
They could only get him for that one day.
Yeah.
That
They
was-
should have had him film 2 scenes, maybe, but
I think we have another Dabney Coleman movie this year.
Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
oh damn! And did we
I
do
can't
War
wait to
Games
do
this
that
year? or
one.
I
was that
like how
last
he
year?
was trying to stab people with.
Wait,
Oh,
Cloak
so
and Dagger might be
was-
later, actually.
I thought I saw it on our list.
I think it's on. Our, we've
Is it
talked
this
about
year?
Cloak and Daggers
Okay.
many
I couldn't remember if it was
times, 'cause
this year or if it was
filmed.
later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dabney Coleman did the best acting in this movie because he had to run down the hallway with Gonzo swinging from his leg,
An
Not
animal
our
on
an
his
animal
feet.
on his
Not our
hips.
first Dabney Coleman movie.
Well, we did War Games
Yes.
with him also. Yeah. Was that this year or was that last year?
That was 83.
83. Okay.
Yeah,
Can you try his
Animal
top
was
four?
on his ankles.
Yeah.
Animals on his
Yeah,
ankles.
that's right.
And the chicken.
was biting him.
Camilla.
Camilla. Yeah.
Michelle's like, what's that chicken's name? Before it ever happened.
We would have had a third
I know.
Dabney Coleman movie, but we didn't get
95?
to it. We didn't get to it. No, that one's that's
was
actually 1980. We didn't
Yeah.
do that. We had a movie we could have done in 1982, but because Brian took his
vacation.
long vacation, we didn't get to
Oh.
it. His mom wanted to be on for it.
Oh, Tootsie.
Oh. I never saw that.
Great movie.
But 9 to 5 is a great movie.
And that's
a
I
great movie
love
also.
that movie.
Tootsie and 95 would both be great for this
Yeah.
podcast, I think.
Big cast that we can
Yeah.
discuss for sure. Dabney Coleman's top 4. So have we mentioned anything yet?
Yes.
9 to 5 or
9 to 5, yes.
Tootsie.
Tootsie, yes. War Games, yes. You've Got Mail, yes.
Oh, You've
All
Got
right, wait a
Mail.
minute.
Oh, that's right. He was the dad in that.
Who's
I forgot.
that?
Tom Hanks' dad.
Okay. I never saw that movie. So
Neither did I.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good movie. You guys wouldn't like it
it's a
though.
rom-com.
Yeah. Elliot Gould, if you blink, you don't see
I
him.
know.
Was he on set for a minute and a half? He said, walk in, walk out.
As a police officer at Pete's Diner, Gould previously appeared as a cameo in the Muppet movie. He was also in the
Oh,
Muppet movie,
nice.
yes. But this is our first Elliot Gould, right?
Probably. I can't remember anything else we've done with
Yeah, I
him
don't
yet.
think so.
Do you know who Elliot Gould is, Paul? You're a little young compared to all of us.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Paul and I are practically the same age.
So Paul's a little younger than you. So I'm going to say Paul.
Don't make that face at me.
I'm sure Paul is like 4 years younger than you at least.
Paul, how old are you?
43.
I'm 46.
Oh, so 3 years.
Yeah, excuse you.
What month?
Thank you. December. Thank you.
Okay, I'm March, so I mean, it's pretty close.
We haven't done Elliot Gould,
Okay.
except we did do him on
Did
the
you ever
Love
watch
Boat.
Friends? He
Yeah.
was the
He was
Geller's
the dad.
dad on Friends.
Oh yeah,
Ross and
yeah,
Monica's
yep,
dad.
Yep.
He was in MASH.
Which is the only reason I know him. Thank you.
He's Trapper John McIntyre
Trapper
from
John
MASH,
in
the
MASH.
movie, though.
I don't like
Oh,
MASH.
yeah.
I never saw MASH, the movie.
The movie.
I didn't
Or
even
the
know they
show.
made a movie.
This is where, if you listen to the soundtrack, you have words for this one. The MASH song on the TV show
Suicide's Painless.
is all instrumental. If you
On the
listen
movie,
to
it has lyrics.
It has the same song, but it has lyrics.
Oh, I didn't
Suicide
know
is
that.
Painless. It's an actual song.
Really?
Yes. It charted as well.
Oh, wow.
Great song.
Oceans 11 and 13.
Yes, he's in the Oceans
Never
He
saw
plays Ruben Tishkoff in both of them. And then The Long Goodbye from 73.
I don't know that one. I forgot he was in the Oceans movies. Yeah.
Gregory Hines, another one real
For
quick.
another minute.
He shows
Yeah.
up a second time, though, to get his skates there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
The first time I didn't
Gets
even
them
know it was
taken
him.
from him, and then...
That was a great
Yep.
scene. And first of all, the
You know what,
the
keep the
person
skates.
in the skates, Miss Piggy's
Piggy
stunt
costume doing
double,
it.
was horrifying. When you saw that person
From
in
a
the Mickey
distance,
costume
from
from a
a
distance,
broader shoulders than I did.
Oh my
she
God.
was a
It might have been
brute.
a
I would have been
Yeah.
running like that too. That was horrifying.
Her stunt double was Tim.
She is
His
a
name
pig.
was Tim.
Yeah.
She is a pig, She
But
does have a
still,
good
like,
body.
oh my God, if that was coming at me, I'd be horrified. Oh my God.
We had Mayor Ed I. Koch
Greg
as
Hines,
himself.
Gregory Hines.
Oh, we didn't do his four. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Running Scared.
We just did him, though, recently,
Did
didn't
we do Gregory Hines? Jesus
Not
Christ.
with me.
I think we
I don't
just
know.
did.
I don't know why. I don't know what I know him from.
History of the World Part 1 and Running Scared, and he was a dancer. He was
I feel like the dancing.
because he was very into
He was in
his
Deal
short
with the Century. We didn't do that, though, did we?
with Chevy Chase, right? Yep.
No, I guess we didn't do it. Maybe I'm thinking of a Love Boat episode.
Oh, maybe he was on Love Boat. It could have been. I don't know what his top four is besides the things I mentioned.
You got History of the World Part 1 when he was Josephus.
Yeah.
And then Running Scared, you said that, right?
I said that.
And then Renaissance Man and Will and Grace he was on.
Yeah, okay. He died.
You still don't know who he is?
young. He died young.
He was 57. He had liver cancer.
Yeah.
I know who Gregory Hines
Oh, I
is.
thought you didn't.
I just don't know why I know him because I don't think I've ever seen him in anything. But
Interesting.
I guess he was just that famous that I knew who he was.
History of the World Part 1, no?
He died young. You never saw History of the World Part
Josephus?
1?
Maybe, probably.
There's
Even
a part-
Tara's like, oh, look who it is. I said, do you even know his name? And she was like, it's Gregory Hines. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
she did.
damn.
Damn,
She
she's
did.
good.
Of course I do, Tara.
But
It's
like
Richard
that's
Pryor.
the thing. Like I've never seen. I was waiting for her to say Richard Pryor. I swear to God, I was waiting for her to say Richard Pryor, and I was so shocked when she didn't.
That would have been funny.
I wonder why she knows Gregory Hines.
But I wonder why I know. I mean, obviously I knew him from this, but like I felt like you just knew who he was. But I don't know if I've ever seen anything.
She
Alright.
paused it and then told her down the bottom.
Yeah.
So do you want to try Ed Koch's top four then?
I just brought up that Koch the other day when we were talking about Ghostbusters and how they always tried to cast a guy in a New York movie in the 80s that looked like Ed Koch, and then they just got Ed Koch for this movie to
Yeah.
play Ed Koch.
I'm gonna go with this one and Ghostbusters.
But he wasn't in Ghostbusters. They just cast a guy that looked like
Yeah,
him.
he wasn't in Ghostbusters.
oh,
but
oh.
this one is in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does he
I
have
don't-
4 things?
Yeah.
Wow.
I couldn't even tell you anything else that Koch has been in besides-
2007, We Own the Night. He played the mayor. 1996, he was Edward I. Koch in the First Wives Club. And he was Ed Koch, the judge on Spin City.
I'm kind of glad I didn't know what other things he was in.
First Wives Club was good, but you guys
I'm
won't
sure it
like
was.
John Landis as Leonard Wysop.
He was the producer
Weinsopp,
that threw the
Mm-hmm.
script
He was
in
the
the
theatrical
garbage.
producer, yeah. We've obviously done Landis a few times now.
Yep.
Blues Brothers, Schlock, Twilight Zone the movie, and Blues Brothers 2000.
He was the one that killed those kids in the Twilight Zone movie.
Yeah, who else did he kill?
We've definitely talked about. Oh, and Vic Morrow for sure. We've definitely talked about him.
You mean Jennifer Jason Leigh's dad?
Will you guys bring this up so often?
That's our favorite.
Oh,
You should
bring
know
up.
it by
Oh,
now,
I do. I do because you guys bring it up all the
Dana,
time.
We're 2 for 2. I've been here twice. This is the second time.
Yeah, there you go.
Listen, we've talked about it at least
Wait,
9
what was
times
the
on the
movie?
Love Boat.
What movie
Before
were
we
you
even
on
got
for
to it.
last time?
Trading Places.
Okay.
John Landis directed Trading Places.
There you
so we
go.
definitely
That's
talked
why
This is
about
full
it.
circle.
Yeah.
We definitely
But we've talked about
him.
this like on the Love Boat at least 9-10 times
Yeah.
before we even got to movies. So.
Because it's one of those things. I mean, who kills people?
It's a cool
Yeah.
thing to know, too.
It
like,
is, yeah. And I now know it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen that movie
That's a
100
great
times.
topic
but
at
now
like
I
a
know
dinner
it.
party.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm going to bring it up the next dinner party I get
Conversation
invited
starter.
to.
Yeah.
This is how you break the ice.
Yeah.
I think so. You're at a dinner party and you're like, people are down there talking, you're like, bullshit down here.
If
It's
we're
like,
ever at a dinner party together, I'm going to bring it up before you get to bring it up.
It's so funny you
I'll
should bring up
chime in.
dinner
I'm going to
party.
steal
I'll
it from
chime in.
you.
No, I'll chime in. Like, that's a great story, man. Did you tell them this part?
Yeah.
I was looking at our dining room table the other day, and it's just filled with a bunch of junk. And I said to Michelle, I'm like, are we ever going to use that table ever for just not storing junk? We've been in this house 15 years, and we've
Did you ever have dinner on it? Or no?
never, ever, maybe
Like,
at
even if you had
Well,
a
we
dinner
have
party? Like,
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
maybe at Thanksgiving we like.
I remember we
cleared
played
the table.
cards on it
We
once.
played cards on it one time, but we've never had like a dinner party. Never had, hey, would you guys like to come over for dinner? And
Yeah,
then
but
that's
the
all
kind
we're
of friends
doing.
that you have, like, we just eat on the couch.
Well, that is true.
You
Or
know?
outside.
We're at a dinner party and just sit on the couch.
Paul's more of an outside eater. We want to host him
If I'm
off.
coming over here, we're either podcasting or playing poker. We're doing
If I'm not
something.
eating out of a trough, I honestly don't know what to do with myself.
When's the next poker night?
2 weeks
Oh,
from
nice.
yesterday.
Nice.
Paul can't come because apparently that's in the same cycle
Oh,
of the
calendar
moon
month?
as Mother's
Is
Day.
it calendar month?
Mother's Day weekend.
Mother's Day weekend. It's not Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day weekend.
We like to celebrate in my house.
Oh my god. We do too. We like to play cards.
Yes.
Michelle's not invited,
Yeah.
but I'm not her mom, or she's not my mom. Either way.
Either way, both are correct.
Up next,
That's
we
the kid's
had
problem.
Linda Lavin
Jeez,
as
yeah.
Kermit's doctor, who diagnoses him with amnesia.
Yes.
Who's Linda Lavin, Dana?
She was Seth Cohen's grandmother on the OC.
That did not make it into her top
Darn.
4.
Alice.
Hyatt. Alice
Yeah.
Hyatt from Alice, yes. And The Good Wife, I never watched that. I Want to Go Home and The Backup Plan are...
I know her as Alice. I'm sure
I know her
she's
as
done other
Alice
stuff.
as well, and The Love Boat. She's
Oh,
a few episodes of
of
The
The
Love
Love
Boat, yeah. Liza Minnelli as herself. As
that was good.
herself.
So vapid. Knew exactly where her picture hung in that restaurant
Oh, yeah.
and knew it was not hanging in the proper place. I was like, that sounds like they got the perfect person
Yeah.
for this
Yeah.
role.
And you want to try her
She was
top
great.
4?
She was so good in Arrested Development.
What was her
was
name
all-
on that?
Lucille, too.
Lucille what?
too.
Two.
What's her last name? It's Lucille
call.
Ostero.
That's right.
But she was Lucille too.
Yes,
Yeah.
She was in Arthur.
Arthur is in her top 4.
She was in Cabaret.
Cabaret's in her top 4. We got a big Liza fan over here.
Clearly.
She was in Judy Garland. I
Oh,
don't
if you
know.
got this when I was going to be that.
Technically, she was.
New York, New York. You
Oh,
were close.
She was in New York. But she was
I
also
saw
in Judy
none of
Garland.
that.
None of them. You
I
ever
know.
saw Arthur?
Little bits and pieces, but I didn't like him.
Yeah, remember we
So
talked
I
about
turned
that.
it
She
off.
doesn't like Dudley Moore.
No, he always
Doesn't like
creeped
funny
me out.
things.
I am.
You don't like funny things.
Shut up! I do so.
Name one funny thing you like. You know nothing funny.
You're not funny.
I'm not funny.
No, and
But you
neither
like
is
me.
Jason. Paul, I like Paul. Paul's funny.
You're funny and
Damn.
our
What did I
funny
do?
is a little different.
I feel if I'm not
What
funny,
did I do?
shouldn't
I'm over
be
here
on
just
this
You
trying to
did
run a
it.
podcast.
I'm sorry, Jason. You're funny. Sometimes you're funny.
What am I doing on this podcast that I'm not funny? I just don't get it.
We need you to do this.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
You're pushing the buttons. You're
Brian
hitting
could do that. We
record.
got a monkey to do that.
Playing the perfume saleswoman, Joan Rivers.
I
Best
love that
scene
scene.
in this movie.
God, I love that
Best scene in
scene.
this movie.
Yep.
That was so good.
I actually thought as it was happening, I was like, how many? Well, no. The next scene was when something else happens to Piggy.
when she's beaten when the men are harassing her.
The construction.
No,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
else happens to her. But it's like, how many piggies did they ruin to
Yeah, right?
do this movie? Because
They
something happens to
definitely
her
ruined that
hand
one.
or something like that later on. But
So
Joan Rivers draws all over her face.
Like that puppet was ruined.
The freckles. She was,
Yeah.
She was like,
I'll do the freckles myself. And she just like, what?
lipstick here on the cheeks.
Yeah.
try her top 4, kids.
Is it her special that she always did about best dressed?
That didn't make it in
Oh,
there.
it was the gum.
Yeah.
She was leaning on
She
the
was
pole.
the
Miss Piggy.
red,
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
the
Miss
red
Piggy,
carpet, red carpet stuff.
Oh, the
Red
E.
carpet
Howard
stuff.
none of that's
special
in there.
thing.
Yeah.
Wasn't I don't know.
How about Spaceballs the movie?
Spaceballs
Oh my
movies.
God, I
What was her
forgot she was
character's
in
name
that.
in that?
Dot Matrix. I
Dot
believe.
Matrix, and it is in the top 4. Yes.
Joan Rivers, was she an actress? I know she was always playing Queen
She plays
Elizabeth and shit
herself
like
in
that.
2 things: Iron Man 3.
Oh wait! Oh! She was in Shrek 2.
Maybe, but I don't see it here.
Damn, she was in Shrek 2.
Rabbit Test. That's with looks like Billy Crystal, and then Serial Mom.
Oh,
There was a documentary about her that came out right after she died, and god damn, it was one of the funniest things. It was like a day in the life. They were just following her around with a camera.
yeah. She looked really good in this too.
Well,
If she could have stopped right there
Yeah.
with everything
Yeah.
she was doing to
I thought
herself.
she still looked old in this.
She did look old, but she looked
She was
great.
like 40
Yeah, she
something.
looked like a
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, 40 people don't look old, but
No.
she should have stopped with the plastic surgery, like
Yeah.
Cindy from Three's Company should have stopped.
Yeah.
Speaking of Cindy's, but Susan Olsen was that Chiller.
Is that
Cindy
is
Brady.
she from?
Cindy.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm saying
And
someone
that's all
else.
I kept thinking. I wanted to see if I saw her, I was gonna have her write Baton Rouge on the.
How old is she? She got to be like 65-ish.
I think she's like early 60s, I think.
Yeah,
she was one of the younger kids. And it was 69 when that started.
So that's even before I was born. She was
so
at least
if that started in 69, that's what?
So she's like
5 years ago.
Yeah, 9
if she was
years
10,
older
so
than
she's
me.
probably, I think she might have been 8, so she's probably about 63, maybe 62.
Man, happens to the best of us. Keep getting older.
Playing a Pete's Diner patron, Brooke Shields.
Yeah. For some reason.
Any idea how old she wasn't when she?
She was probably an adult.
In this, yeah, I could tell you she
before or
was
after Blue Lagoon.
She was 19 in this.
Okay.
She was an adult, so if she showed boob, it would be okay.
Yep.
Unlike in Blue Lagoon, when she was
Can I
like
get a water?
15.
Yeah.
Which makes it into her top 4. The Blue Lagoon is her number 1 movie.
I think that might be the. Oh,
I don't know if I've ever seen her in anything.
Suddenly Susan was a TV show.
Oh, I forgot she was in
Yeah,
that.
that didn't make her top 4 though. Pretty Baby, that was from 1978. Endless Love, that's 1981.
Oh, of course. Endless Love.
And then you got 1979, Wanda, Nevada.
Poor Brooke Shields. She should have done more.
The only other person I have for the cast right now is Vincent Sardi Jr. as himself.
That is. It's Sardi Jr. Was that the chef? Like the main
I got
people,
one.
the chef
I got
at the
one too.
restaurant.
All right,
in the
please, after-
corner.
after
There
you,
might be
man.
more.
Go ahead.
I didn't do a good cast. I didn't.
Oh, that's okay.
No, I didn't get any polls in this cast. I was hoping.
I saw one that just racked my brain, and I finally looked it up and found it.
Go ahead,
But I'm gonna
what
let-
was it?
Now I'm gonna let Dana go
Well, mine was the son who was producing the show.
first. Okay, please. 'Cause
He was from Dirty Dancing. He was
But not a big
it blew
star,
my
right?
mind too. Well, in Dirty Dancing, he had a big role in it.
No,
and
I mean,
was really
he-
surprised. I
has he
don't
done
think
other things
so.
that-
I don't honestly. I don't know. His top 4 was only recognized Dirty Dancing and this.
I saw him and I felt I knew who he was. I thought he was Arnold from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I looked at him I'm like, is this Arnold
Yes.
from Fast
Hope you
Times?
had a hell of a piss, Arnold.
And I looked him up real quick and I'm like, oh, it's not him. I'm like, okay, so I just moved on from
Yeah.
that. I was hoping it was him, but it was not him.
Yeah, he was. Have any of you seen Dirty Dancing?
No.
Yeah.
Dancing movie now.
Once.
Oh my God.
I saw it once. That was it.
Oh, I've seen that movie 5,000 times. It's the
I was
best
there
movie
like
ever.
4 whiskeys deep one time at a wedding. Yes. It was pretty dirty.
Who's
Who
your
was your
person?
guy? That you
So,
who's your guy?
yeah, going back to the
and
construction.
you can't say Ernie and Bert. You
No,
can't say
no.
that. They're not polls, man. We saw
Ernie
that.
and Bert.
There goes Cookie Monster.
Who says Ernie and Bert?
Is it Bert and Ernie?
Yeah.
Always
That was
has
weird.
been. Yeah, that was really weird.
Right?
Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I was always more of an Ernie fan than a
So
Bert fan.
going
Sorry.
back to the 3 construction
Yes.
workers, the first guy, heavyset fella,
Yeah.
Vic Polizzo. So he was on Seinfeld.
Get the hell out of here.
He was the Russian installing illegal
The cable?
Oh, he was also
Yes, sir.
He was also
Yes,
a cop. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he was the cop
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
now it's going to be
wow.
my mission now to pull somebody from every movie and tie them back to Seinfeld for you.
It's tough. We've had a couple. We've had some.
We have,
a
yeah.
couple.
Yeah,
But there's been some
yeah.
tough
That's
He's
ones.
also
funny.
on, what was it, Married with Children? I think one of the X-Files series.
Was he one of the members of No Man?
I don't think.
Do you remember what that stood for? Men Against Amazonian.
I was gonna say Mamma or something.
Mother, Mamma. Something crazy.
Oh my
It's
God.
something Dana would not be a fan of. I told her what their real
Probably
name was.
not.
That's it for the cast, then, right?
I saw him.
Did you have anybody from the cast?
I did not. No, I was really trying. I was looking in the background. The cast at the beginning when they were doing their original show at college.
Right.
I don't know what they pumped into the air into that group of extras that were sitting there clapping. But my God,
They were super
They all
excited.
had Joker
Super
smiles
excited.
on their face. Their smiles went from like their ear to their ear, and they're all like clapping. I'm like, look at their face.
You saw
Their
the one
eyes
lady
were
like
super
yelling
wide.
Kermit at the top of her lungs.
I was like, look at these. I mean, did Frank Oz say, ham it up?
Yeah.
Everybody, I want to see your most
Maybe-
excited clap ever. Oh,
Maybe they were on psychedelics.
They
I want
might
you
have
people
been.
to
Yeah.
freak out. Everybody's getting a bag of weed at the way out.
So I wondered, because I was a huge fan of Muppet Babies,
This is
the
their
cartoon.
first appearance.
Yeah, because the show started in 1984. So, and then I had
Did it really? The Muppet-
yeah,
This
it was
the
84
this
to
was the
91.
Easter egg to the Muppet Babies.
yeah, I never saw
Yeah.
Muppet Babies.
And
When I
they were
saw
weird-
that
and I
scene,
was
I was
like-
like, oh.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
this is where it came from.
And then I was
huh?
like,
Growing
Tara,
up,
they're wearing the
that
same
window,
outfits.
that
That
window
window, the same.
is
The wallpaper was the
iconic.
same.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
wallpaper in the cartoon.
Same characters. No one
Same
else
characters,
but
same
Exactly.
outfits. No, Animal was in the Muppet Babies. I don't know if he was in that scene.
He was not.
But he was in there, and so was sometimes Beaker. Was in
Okay.
it sometimes?
Yes. They would
and then
have,
had a nanny.
and Bunsen.
And Bunsen. And then had a nanny you only saw from like the knee down.
Yep.
Yeah,
the stripes
down.
up.
Yeah.
The stripes
The
up.
stripes
That was from, they stole that from Tom and Jerry.
Oh.
Because you would never see
Oh,
them.
yeah, that's right.
Thomas, you cat?
But Muppet Babies was such a great show. And they even had the same outfits. I went back and looked at the pictures. I'm like, oh, yep. And then Gonzo had the little jumper with the chicken on. Oh,
So do you think
I
that
love
was the
Muppet
cartoon
Babies.
coming out and they...
I bet it was.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
There was an
Put
Easter,
that
an
scene
Easter
in there?
egg to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because as soon as it happened, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, there was a Muppet Babies show.
Yep.
Do you guys
But-
remember around the same time McDonald's had Happy Meals with Muppet toy stuffed animals in them, and like everyone was going crazy
I
to
think I
collect
remember
all the
that,
stuffed
yeah.
animals? And I remember my sister had a bunch of them, and I had some of them, and they
I
were
remember
like,
McDonald's would have the sign outside that they didn't
Yeah.
have them and shit like
and
that.
they
It
were
was
like this
huge,
big. I think they were. I don't remember if they were regular Muppets or Muppet Babies, but they were about this big.
You should
and-
eBay that. You probably
Oh my
find
god!
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Man, I feel like I'm too old for this podcast all of a sudden. Like, you guys are so...
No, you're not old. You're
You're-
too old is what it is.
I mean,
Yeah,
like, I
that's
don't
what he
get
said, he's too old.
anything
Oh, I thought he
you're,
said not
I don't
old
get
enough.
anything you're talking about. I don't know any of
Yeah.
these references. I feel bad.
It's 84. You said you were done with the Muppets.
I was
by then,
14.
so-
I was
Yeah.
too close. I was almost in high school. By then. I wasn't going to go see a
I was-
Muppet movie in high school.
I was still enjoying the Muppets at this
I
time.
think the Muppet Baby toys though were later because I feel like my sister was driving had them in her car, so it must have, and because it ran to 91, so it could have been any time, but they were cool. Did you guys
you
see
could still eBay it.
Did you guys see the puppeteer's head in the one scene?
No.
Sticking up. So when Kermit in his awesome disguise went to the fancy restaurant,
Which one? The
and
mustache
I loved
one?
it.
Oh,
The
that was
mustache. Oh my
great.
god, I
That
loved it. So he's sitting at the table, and I kept seeing the guy's just the top of his hair, like his hair, and it was just floating up around there and under the table.
I wonder if that was Jim Henson doing that.
Fun
I know.
fact.
right? Oh, maybe. Yeah.
21 puppeteers
Worked on this movie?
on this
Wow.
movie.
Well, like those
Yeah,
rat
total.
penguins.
Yeah,
Does each
Yeah.
one get one of them? And
and they were saying average approximately 175 extras.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I like that Paul handwrites his notes. That is so
Dude.
retro.
Let me tell you, man, I was going to town last night between my phone and the movie itself.
I think that's when I first started taking notes, when I was like, oh, I can do it on my phone. Oh,
I do
I'll
a lot
that.
of speak to text, so I
Oh,
get it
do
in
you
quicker.
really?
See, I
Because
was
my
using-
nails are long, I type and I mess up a lot, so I just speak to text.
I was
This is
using the phone as a reference, Googling
Yeah.
things and then write it down with the...
All right.
This is the first and so far the only Muppets movie in which the fourth wall was not broken.
Not broken.
Oh.
Interesting.
And there was not an antagonist either. They didn't have somebody like Cheese
Yeah,
in there.
not really. Yeah. I mean, I guess like Dabney Coleman was kind of supposed to be one, but
Yeah, but
he
there
was out in the
like,
first
not like the
scene,
Muppet
so-
Caper and stuff like that, you know.
See, now, great Muppet Caper and, of course, the original Muppet movie I know very well. I saw those in the theater in the Muppet Show, but
Yeah.
this must have been the first movie that I was just like, nah, I'm not going to see
The
this in
Great
the theater.
Muppet Caper is the one where they kidnap Big Bird.
No.
What's the one where Big Bird is?
Isn't that Follow That Bird?
Follow that bird.
I love that movie.
That's a Sesame Street
Yeah.
movie. That's not a Muppet movie.
Okay.
It's still Muppets.
It's still Muppet. Yeah,
Well,
still,
still Jim Henson.
Jim Henson.
Still,
Jim
yeah.
Henson production
Yeah.
for sure, but no Muppets are in that. No
Yeah.
Kermit or Fozzie or Gonzo.
Okay, I remember that movie. I don't remember.
There's definitely. Listen. I am an old man. I remember when the Muppet Show first came on, and Kermit was the only one from the Muppet from Sesame Street that came on to the Muppet Show. I remember being like, where are all my guys?
Yeah,
Where's like Ernie and
I
Big
know.
Bird and all those guys, and none of them were on it.
Yeah, it was the Sam Kids, I think they called it, or something. The original Muppets. It was Kermit and then like 9 others. They're all
Okay.
down in the Smithsonian.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
The
and Fozzie, sorry,
Go ahead.
Fozzie Bear is in the Teddy Bear Museum in Newby Hall near Ripon, United Kingdom.
Oh,
Oh, it's
So,
over there. Nice.
British.
Yeah.
Fuck that, man. This is American.
I know.
shit.
It's
Like, why would-
interesting,
why would
They kept
steal
they
it?
just steal everything.
They kept Kermit, Ralph, and where's the other one? Dr. Teeth. He's down.
Dr.
In
Teeth.
the,
I love-
the 3 of them are down in the Smithsonian.
I love Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. I love
That's
them
a
as a
nice
band.
band, yeah.
Like, they are all, each one of them has their own personality, and you
Yeah.
know where they came from. Like, Janis is obviously Janis Joplin and stuff like that. It's so much fun.
Yeah,
She made a
blue
comment.
Dude, the blue dude on the green nose.
Yeah.
And plays
The
the sax.
saxophone zoot. Yeah.
Janice was having a little side conversation where she said something about she wouldn't even do it for money, or something about doing it for money.
Like,
Yeah, what did she say?
Anybody who's got a jacuzzi.
Oh my God.
I've been looking for an Electric Mayhem tour poster for a long time, because I know there's one out there. I know exactly. I know what I'm looking for. It's not like it's just something that pops up on eBay.
Yeah.
It has to be a specific one, because that was like, I wanted to have tour posters coming down my basement steps of like fake bands.
Yeah.
Like, bands that don't really exist.
Like Citizen Dick.
Exactly, something like that. Yes.
She said she doesn't pose naked even if it's artistic.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
In this movie?
Yes.
This is a G-rated movie?
Yeah,
they
were like...
I don't pose naked.
Even if it's... Yeah. I was like, wow, that's for
great.
a G movie, that was a lot. And I thought it was
I got
pretty
respect
funny.
for that. The scene of Miss Piggy singing Saying Goodbye with Kermit was filmed at the Lackawanna Rail Terminal in Hoboken, New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
The train Piggy is on is an electric train designed and built by Thomas A. Edison.
So this was actually filmed on location. If they were filming that in Hoboken, they were probably actually in Manhattan.
And this one's for you. I don't know if you watched. Did you ever watch Fraggle Rock?
I love Fraggle Rock.
All right, so this is also for you then. Uncle Traveling Matt was in the audience in the chapel scene. Did you see
Get
it?
out. No. I have to go back and look. I love that show.
I've never seen an episode.
my
I'm a big
God.
fan. I'm a big
It was
fan.
on HBO when it first came out in the 80s.
That's another one of those shows I would always watch on
Me
HBO.
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
My family
And
was
as a matter of fact, I quite often have that theme song stuck in my head. I don't know why.
Dance your cares away. Worries falling by the bed.
Let the music play.
Down to Fraggle Rock.
I'm gobsmacked. I don't even know
That
what
was
you
such a
guys are
great
doing.
show.
Yes.
Okay, anyway.
I almost bought the whole box set. I saw
Oh.
that you could buy the whole box set.
I didn't watch the new
didn't
series that came out a couple years ago.
I did. It was great.
Was it?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
they're only like 6 minutes long.
Oh, really?
Yeah, real quick.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Fraggle Rock episodes are only 6 minutes long.
No, the
Newer ones, yeah.
Newer ones. The ones from the 80s were
I
half
forgot
hour.
to mention, Paul brought over some bourbon before that we were drinking as we were coming down the
Did you
steps.
start drinking it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm saying I'm rapidly falling apart as
Oh,
we're doing
okay.
this.
Nice. My plan has worked.
There was a cameo written for Dustin Hoffman, but at the last minute he decided not to appear in the film.
Oh, what a jerk.
Yeah.
I felt one of the biggest problems with this movie was that the cameos were
They
very
weren't really-
lacking.
yeah.
Because I remember the Muppet movie, like every scene had somebody in it. And
Yeah.
The
this
whole
one was just
episode
kind
was, yeah.
this one just didn't seem to have it. And when they had it, it was like Elliot Gould for like 30 seconds, and that's
Yeah.
being
Well,
generous.
Stanford and Walford did make a cameo. They were 3 times.
They were in the handsome
3
cab
times.
for
Yep.
sure.
Handsome
and-
cab.
They were in a horse.
That's a handsome cab.
Oh, sorry.
They were sunbathing. Was the first one. They were
Oh yes, the silver things. with
Yes.
the sun.
Yeah.
They didn't say anything. The second one was the handsome cab, and then the third one is when Manhattan Melodies was up in the theater. They were ready to go. He says, "Yeah, I got 2 tickets." And he says, "Oh, for what?" He says, "Next train out of town."
Yeah.
They weren't invited to the wedding. Were they not in the wedding scene?
I don't know if they were in the wedding or not.
There was a lot of people at
There
that
was,
wedding.
yeah.
Big
Yeah.
Bird was even sitting down.
I got
Yeah.
confused about it, because you saw Ernie or Bert, one of the two.
Both of them.
Ernie and
Big-
Bert.
Yeah,
And
Big-
Cookie
Big
Monster.
Bert,
I
think
Cookie
Ernie and Bert
Monster.
were both
Yep.
there.
Ernie and Bert. What a
me.
dope.
Bert
He
and
says
Ernie.
Ernie and Bert.
I didn't mean to make the same mistake Andy made. I apologize.
I didn't know that was a thing. Ernie's so much better than Bert.
Kermit had a 3-part plan, but he only told us the first 2 parts.
What was the
The first part was if you can't beat him, join him. The second part was you need Rizzo and all the rats to help whispering campaign, and that's when the rats in the restaurant start spreading all the
Yeah.
gossip.
Whispering
but then
campaign was
part
great.
3 never got to it.
You know, Rizzo the rat.
You're right. Yeah. It's not,
It's the-
what do you call it? The silent campaign or
Yeah.
quiet campaign?
I guess because this is probably the first movie that Rizzo was ever in, right?
What's that?
Whispering.
Whispering campaign. That's
Yeah.
right.
This was Rizzo's first Muppet appearance,
I
right?
think so.
Yeah.
Because I remember 10, 15 years later when I started watching the Muppets again with the kids, like the Muppet movie, the Jason Segel one and stuff like that. He's in those
He's
movies.
a
I'm like,
staple.
I'm like, who's this fucking rat? I'm like, why, like, where's he come
Respect
from?
the rat.
He wasn't in the original Muppet movies.
No, I know. And he
Yeah.
wasn't on the Muppet Show and stuff like that.
You
But
gotta
now he's
figure
like a
they're
main
in New
character.
York. I mean, what else do you need
That's
as
fine,
a
but
rat?
now he's a main character on the Muppets.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
remember, like, when I started watching those things in the 2000s, I'm like, where'd this rat come from? I don't get why he's, like, getting choice billing over other characters.
What,
But I guess it started in this movie.
Yeah.
What was the name of the perfume that Piggy and Joan Rivers were pushing?
Oh my God, I forget. It was French, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't really French. It was just a French.
It's the way they were saying it.
Frenched
Yeah.
it
French,
up, parfume or something like that.
Quelle difference. So Quelle difference. That's
yeah.
how they were saying it. And what was it? There was a Plaza Marquee. There was a movie theater.
Yes.
Marquee. What was the name of the movie?
The
that
one
was
where
playing?
Rizzo was working at.
well,
Rizzo,
yeah.
or no, Scooter's
Attack of the Killer Fish Part 4.
Yes,
3D.
Attack of the Killer
There it
Fish.
is.
Yeah.
Attack of the
3D.
Killer
Yeah.
Fish.
And that's where they introduced New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yes.
You saw the movie.
Boomerang.
How many
Was that
times?
his-
You know how
Yeah.
many times he saw
97.
it? Yep.
Was that his
97.
first ever Muppet appearance? Because
Yeah.
he's another one that came up
Yeah.
later in the Muppets.
The same with, and that's how they got the Swedish Chef. He was working the popcorn
Yeah.
stand.
But,
and that's how,
the Swedish Chef was on the Muppet Show back in the
in the
70s.
show, yes,
But I'm
but
just
not
saying,
in the
like,
movies.
Yeah.
Not,
New Zealand was never on the Muppet Show, so this was like his first appearance as a character.
yes.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool.
That was great,
It's just
with
funny.
his
You know,
fish.
sometimes you see this character 30 years later, and you're like, "Where'd that come from? I don't know them, but now I know."
Rolf was. Do you know where Rolf was located when he was working in management?
I do. He was in Delaware.
Yeah.
Delaware at the kennel.
Let's see what else
And
do I
why
have here.
does a dog get to run a dog kennel with other dogs in cages?
I know.
And they were all Muppet dogs,
But
except
it
the dog
wasn't-
that came in, Snooky Balloons, or
Yeah.
whatever the hell
Yeah.
his name was. We were speaking
Schnookums.
fluent Chinese.
She'll be just fine. It's a he.
Remember what Kermit's diagnosis by Dr. Alice was?
Well, it was amnesia
Amnesia.
at the end.
And he said, "Yeah, you are Enrico Tortellini of Passaic, New Jersey." And he said, "Well, I don't really feel Italian."
I'm glad no one wanted to
Check
make
your mandibles.
frog legs out of him. So Scooter is Kermit's nephew, right?
What?
Was he established as his nephew,
Really?
Scooter? I thought so. Like, he doesn't look like a frog,
No.
but
I
he's
don't
like
have the whole.
He seems like a person to me. Like a Muppet person. He seems human.
I'm not going to drag the podcast down by discussing Scooter's lineage, but I feel like he's been established as
Okay, well.
Kermit's nephew, but he doesn't look froggy. He doesn't even have frog eyes. I think it was Kermit's eyes that got me this time. He's definitely got frog-looking
I always
eyes.
thought he was supposed to be a person.
He probably is.
But he's the only one that's a person, right? I mean, Bert and Ernie are people, but they're not people
Are they
because Bert's
people?
not a person. Like Ernie and Bert, I don't know. Ernie and Bert,
They're not people? But what
yeah, they
then?
are, but
They're Muppets.
yeah, but he's a
They're
people.
Muppet persons.
I guess Scooter's just
I
like
think
Ernie and
Scooter's
Bert.
yeah.
Bert and Ernie. Sorry, does
Ernie
that make
and
you feel
Bert.
better?
So
Ernie and Bert's okay.
Ernie and Bert.
I dug up 3 little fun facts here. I'm going to just 25.5 million domestically is what this movie picked up.
Was that good?
That was 84 money, though, right?
Yes.
So what would that be in 24 money? Do you know?
Couldn't tell you.
All right.
I think they had a budget of $8 million.
$2 billion.
That's a lot more, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Filming began May 31st, 1983, ended on September 16th, 1983. So it was 3.5 months in the making.
I wonder how hard it is to make a Muppet movie. Like,
Elliot Gould was also in the Muppet movie.
With an endless supply of LSD, you can do whatever you want.
was he a cop in that? Was he playing the same cop? That'd be cool if he was.
Doesn't say, yeah. So I got the jobs each Muppet took who left town. We got Scooter at the movie theater, Usher in Cleveland, the Electric Mayhem playing at an Oktoberfest near Pittsburgh. Oh, shit.
Fozzie was hibernating with
Yeah.
those
In
other-
Maine. In Maine. He was
Yeah.
up in Maine with Beth. That's where Beth the bear came
Yep,
in.
he was hibernating in Maine after a
Yep.
job he had didn't work out well. Gonzo's in a water skiing act somewhere in Michigan.
Yep.
Rolf was at the kennel in Delaware. Miss Piggy initially looked as though she left town but stayed behind to spy on Kermit. However, she did work briefly with Eileen at the department store's makeup counter, pushing Quelle difference.
Close run. $25 million in 1984 was $75 million today. So
Okay.
Dang.
that sounds like a
Did
lot
you
of
see
money.
Gonzo carrying a Gucci bag in this movie? He had
No.
a Gucci bag. I thought that was funny because of Gonzo, Gucci.
Yeah.
When they first arrived?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
nice. Nice.
Scooter, when of Muppets and Men, when pressed about his family, he explained that his mother was a parrot, but he didn't know his father.
Scooter's mother's a
Interesting.
parrot.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He
So
doesn't-
there you
He
go.
doesn't have too many parrot features. Gonzo was introduced in this movie as a whatever, we have a bear, we have a pig, we have a chicken, we have a whatever. I always thought that was great. I thought that was great that Gonzo was a whatever, and not for nothing, that's been my nickname and my kids' nicknames for the last 50 years. So I always have.
You are the staple. Whatever.
I have a very special feeling towards Gonzo whenever he comes up.
Gonzo is one of the best. I love Gonzo.
You know my feeling about Logan and Gonzo.
Yes,
the tattoo.
But I mean, he's Gonzo. All his friends call him Gonzo. No one calls him Logan ever. It's weird when they do. They're like, Logan. Like, what?
When he was,
which is funny because it's
Gonzales.
It's not your last name isn't Gonzales. Well, no, you know what I mean? It's Gonzo. So I think it's funny. I like it. It's a good nickname.
So the last one I dug up, so Jeff Moss for Academy Award Best Original Song Score, lost to Prince. Purple Rain.
Purple Rain was great album too.
Yeah. That was tough to beat that year. Yeah.
So,
but I mean, the Muppets won an Oscar. I mean, Paul Williams definitely won an Oscar for Rainbow Connection and stuff like that for the original Muppet movie.
Why are there so many?
Oh my God! Kermit's sitting right here.
Danced to that with my mom at my wedding.
Did you really?
So
your whole wedding was Muppet related.
Yeah, I mean, for the movie,
nerd.
No,
mine was Star Wars related. Michelle and I came out to Star Wars.
Did you guys come out with lightsabers?
We walked under people
with lightsabers.
We had gone to a wedding 2 weeks before our wedding where it was someone from her brother and father's hockey team, and they all walked under hockey sticks. And as soon as I was like, I looked at Michelle and she's like, "Are we walking under lightsabers?" I was like, "Yes, we are."
How'd you get her to agree to this?
Because Michelle was in love with me, and she was just like, our families walked out to the Simpsons theme, and then Michelle and I walked out to the Star Wars theme and walked under lightsabers. Do you think she had anything to do with any of that?
No, that's what I'm asking. How did you get her to agree
She
to
allowed
this?
it. She was like, I guess if I want to marry this awesome person, I got to put in some...
The Simpsons and Star Wars comes with them.
God. Michelle.
That was a long time ago. Now she would be like, fuck you. She's like, no. We have to act like adults. We're barely adults.
When I was a kid, I remember I thought that the Amnesia had a longer, whatever time in this
tail,
movie.
like just half the movie kind of
it wasn't the last 10 minutes. I thought it was like the majority of the movie, but
this
it
movie
wasn't.
goes too fast.
It did go fast,
2 weeks. But it was also the last 15 minutes.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, it takes them like 20 minutes just to get to New York and establish the plot and everything like that. And for a 90-minute movie, you're already almost a third of the way through by the time you even start establishing the plot.
Is a much better movie.
And I think the Muppet movie is an awesome, awesome movie. But that's also the first one I saw.
I have to go back and watch them again. I've seen those movies when I was a kid once, but this one I watched over and over and over.
I didn't see this one as much as I watched the original, so this one doesn't hold as much.
It took me
of a.
It took me 3 hours to watch this hour-and-a-half movie today because I watched the first 30 minutes of it 3 times. Because it kept freezing up until I finally was like, fuck it, I'm paying $3.95 for this movie and I'm buying it on Amazon or wherever I bought it. And I heard that opening song 3 times. And I can still sing all the music from the Muppet movie.
Yeah.
Like Moving Right Along, I can sing it right now. Moving Right Along. And I can sing Rainbow Connection, but all this music I just kind of like in one ear out the other. And it didn't stick with me at all. Now, it's the first day I heard it. Maybe if you give me a couple of years on the soundtrack,
I don't think you're going to listen to it that much
I
more.
will not. Unless it comes up on one of my 1001 albums.
But that's just a one-time listen, too.
It's just a one-time.
Short Round, I watched it the first night with Short Round and Allison, and she loved it. So I think this opens up a whole new...
Is this her first Muppet experience?
I mean, she watched the animated... Muppet Babies. Yeah. Not the originals that you and I grew up on.
Oh, they have new ones?
They have a spin-off of it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which
not as good.
It's never as good as the original. Never as good as the original.
Never is.
It opens a whole new door. I mean, you get the 4 movies, you got the Muppet Show, the whole 9. And I think I was telling you the other day, like even raising my oldest daughter when she was younger, hang out, watch the Muppet Show. It was just the deal,
I mean, I remember the Muppet Show when that started on TV.
That was you can even catch it now. It's on Disney Plus.
It's on Disney, right? Yeah. Is Fraggle Rock on? Is that part of it? Is that all part of?
No, that's on Apple.
It is.
Fraggle Rock I saw is on, but Apple, the new one is. But I don't know if the old is on. It could be on Disney. I'll have to look. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I remember when we went to Disney in the '90s, Michelle and I, and the Muppets were there. They had like a Muppet studio thing there. And I remember being like, the Muppets are part of Disney? I had no idea. I don't think they were actually...
They had the Rizzo Pizza Place.
Well, this was like a like you walked in, there was a movie set, and they were doing some kind of 3D movie, but
Okay.
that was before they actually got bought by Disney. Now they're actually under the Disney umbrella.
We were in Disney 2018, and they had a whole set there, and there was like the Rizzo
Muppet
movie, the Rizzo pizza place. They had one of Kermit's tuxes there.
Do rats serve you your food?
No. No,
That's kind of gross.
They actually don't actually serve pizza. It's just one of the storefronts.
Gotcha.
I was slightly disappointed.
Oh.
Sorry,
They should have,
I walked over to Epcot and
They
got a
should have
margarita.
pizzas on animatronics, just going around like on tracks.
Yeah. Like the sushi,
Like, here
like
you
the
go.
sushi thing. Yeah, sushi belt, just a pizza belt.
Shall we get to some scores? Or
Yeah,
does anybody have
Yeah.
anything else?
I didn't really take a look. This is a weird movie to take notes from because it was just
Yeah. All right,
The only other thing I have is that it was only 50 cents to watch the Gonzo Water Show at the park where you went flying. I was like, 50 cents and kids are free. I'm like, that's a good
That's not
day out.
bad, yeah. Let's get to some scores then. What do you got?
I'll go first because I think I'm going to be the biggest
Do you have
downer
one
on
for
this
Michelle?
one because
Okay.
no, I watch this by myself. This is not my Muppets. I loved the Muppets early, and like I said, I never saw this before. I'm seeing this as an old man now. It does not hit like if I'd seen this back in the day. I give it a 65. I'll never watch this again. I'll probably watch other Muppet stuff again, but never this one again. Sorry. Andy sucks.
No, it's okay. I love this movie a lot. It made me so happy watching it and having not seen it in 30 years, but still remembering almost everything about this movie and the lines and what was going to be said. So I really must have watched it a lot. I will watch it again.
Let's Tara score first.
And I want
I
to now
really
go
wish I
back
grew
and
up with
watch all the other
HBO
ones.
like you guys. You rich kids
Yeah.
with your HBO. My God.
We got it for free.
I know, your trailer park.
Yeah. Anyway, so I want to go back now and watch the other ones that I didn't watch as much when I was a kid, so I don't really remember them.
You watched this more than
Yeah.
the original Muppets
Yeah,
movie.
because
and
the other
yeah,
ones,
Great Muppet
this
Kid
was
Rock.
on repeat. HBO would just
This
show the
was hers.
same
Yeah,
shit
I
over
like-
and
I
over.
wonder why.
Yeah,
I wonder why
Yeah.
this one over the other two.
Well, I was 7.
But I'm saying, why was HBO not
Because this
running
was
them?
around the
Because it
time
was
it came
new.
out.
Yeah. And I'm pretty
Okay.
sure I saw this in the theater as well. But anyway, Tara gave it an 84. She liked it too. I
For
gave
the
it.
year it came out.
Yes, she said, "Oh, I can't do that. It's the year it came out, so that's okay."
There are no rules to the score.
No, I gave it a 90. I love it.
Wow, nice.
Yes.
My
I
score's a
love it.
lot lower. Not lower than Andy's though. I'm going with a 70. I like the Muppets. This isn't my favorite Muppet movie. Obviously, I like the originals, Muppet movie and the Great Muppet Caper. I enjoyed this movie. It's just a 70 for me, though. Yeah, I'll never watch it again if I don't have to. I mean, if I were to watch it, I don't have a problem watching it again, but I don't need to watch it again.
If
70.
there's a gun to your head, you'd watch it
I'll
again.
watch it again.
Paulie?
I'm gonna split the hair here. I'm gonna go 85.
Okay.
Between Friday and today with McCary, I think we watched it 4 times.
I was going to say, you watched
So
it
you
one
watched it
time.
recently, okay.
And then one of those was by myself last night with my phone Googling and my notepad.
With the research,
Yeah.
my God.
I know, right?
I'm going to probably watch it another 3 times, and then, like I said, it's just going to open up more possibility for short round and her viewing
Yeah.
pleasure.
And she's now 8 years old?
8 years old.
Then get it in fast, man, because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
she hits 10, she's going to give you the big middle finger
Yeah.
when you say, like, let's watch Muppets.
Yeah, well, this is true, but we'll move on to bigger and better. I'm watching a lot more things now with the older one that Dumb and Dumber, Happy Gilmore,
There you go.
all that good stuff.
The
that hits
classics?
us. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
the classics.
Did you get
What the
Weird
hell happened
Science
to
yet?
What's that?
Weird Science? Did you get
No,
that
not
one
yet, not yet.
so fun.
I did make
I
the
love that
mistake of showing short round Tommy Boy. So now she's
awesome.
well. You'll hear her like running full fledged into a wall. And, Son of a!
I was going to say, I feel it's like a PG movie, except for maybe like a couple things.
the
here.
hotel pool.
I was going to say the hotel pool.
with
might be
It's
the
not
worst
so much
thing.
here or here, but right here.
Yeah, she runs in and scrunches her neck up because Tommy want wings and runs out of her room.
Nice.
So
Richard,
That's funny.
You're a sinner.
Shut up, Richard.
what'd you do?
Is your favorite baseball team the Yankees?
Up next, we got Dan coming on, I believe.
Yeah, let's
right?
be figure out another one in between.
We're gonna record this week. I had picked one. I thought. Remember Repo Man?
Repo Man.
Oh, we're doing Repo Man next. Yes.
So we're gonna do Repo Man Wednesday or Thursday this week, which day is good for you guys.
As long as the Knicks eliminate the Sixers on Tuesday.
What day is
I'm good.
Dan now? Saturday or
Saturday,
Dan Saturday?
whatever the 5th is. What's the 5th? I guess that's Sunday.
Yeah, Monday's the 1st, right?
Fuck, I don't even
The
know.
5th is. I'm in the wrong month. The 5th is Sunday.
Okay, Sunday it is.
So we're doing a Sunday. So then let's do Thursday.
Sounds good.
All right.
What are we doing Sunday? Revenge of the Nerds?
That's Revenge of the Nerds. So we got Repo Man followed by Revenge of the Nerds, and it's the exciting new podcast on all our socials. Download, rate, subscribe, review, do all those fun things. I'm the Jazoo on Instagram, Jazoo74 on Twitter. To spin the exciting new podcast, I'm Jason.
Hey, Gonzo1 on TikTok. Fuck. Twitter.
Write it down, Andy.
Hey, Gonzo
Write it down.
on Instagram. I'm
Bourbon.
I've been drinking.
It's the bourbon.
Dana Caps on TikTok, Dana Caps 77 on Instagram. I'm Dana.
PaulUnderARock.com.
I told you I wasn't going to drink before you got here, but I lied.
Sorry. I'd expect nothing less.
It's because